Okay, am I audible to you? If I'm audible visible, kindly let me know. If I'm audible visible, kindly let me know. Now, so if you have any doubt regarding class or any other class, kindly let me know, and then we'll move forward. Any doubt regarding last class or any other class that you have? Any doubt? Okay, so it looks like you don't have any doubt. So basically, if I talk about the geography, so we have discussed a couple of things. We have discussed many things basically, and in the last chapter we were talking about the Indian geography. ठीक है and हमने बात किया था basically अगर बात किया जाए so what we have talked about in the last class. So basically we have talked about uh, so we have talked about till here we were talking about mm, yeah, these things we are talking about. So we were talking about basically overall the Indian climate we were talking about. Okay, we were talking about the Indian climate, that overall what kind of uh, climate is there. Okay, and we have discussed what is the difference between the climate. We discussed that what is the difference between the climate and the climate and the weather. Okay, so there we have got to know that weather is a day-to-day phenomena, but climate is a long-time weather. So long-time weather is known as the climate. This is what we understood in the last class. Okay, and then we have talked about the precipitation, and we have talked about overall how the climate and the factor of the climates are affected by the precipitation, whether from precipitation, whether from the latitude and altitude, and or from the relief features. And relief features. This is what we have understood. ठीक है ना oceans distance from the sea and intertropical conversions, these things we are understood. ठीक है now today definitely we're going to cover these things, इन चीजों को हम cover करेंगे, but in addition to that today we're going to cover some more things and we're going to cover the mapping section. ठीक है ना so I know the class is है ना from I think this is the 10th class, so from the last 10 classes we were just discussing, from the last 10 classes, we were just discussing about the concept. So now we will cover the geography through the mapping, and now you will have a very good understanding that overall how you will going to understand the concepts, ठीक है ना, in more detailed manner from the mapping section. ठीक है ना, तो mapping section से जैसे कैसे चीजें सीखोगे, है ना, that is something you will get to know from this section. Clear everybody? ठीक है. So and in addition to that later on we'll cover these sections only, मतलब हमारी जो बची हुई चीजें हैं, the last thing we are left with, we're going to cover the same, and including that we'll also cover some MCQs, some concept and some uh, tips and trick for the geography section. अभी हमारे पास बहुत टाइम है, we have plenty of time, so we will have a very detailed, will have a very thorough discussion for each and everything. ठीक है ना, अभी बहुत सारी चीजें जो है वो बची हुई हैं, but meanwhile I want to start the mapping section so that you may have a understanding of the geography through mapping. And why I'm starting the mapping section, because the next topic that we have in geography is our drainage system, is our drainage system. ठीक है ना, drainage system. Now drainage system is overall, in the drainage system we'll talk about the rivers, ठीक है ना, we'll talk about the tributaries, ठीक है ना. We'll talk about the rest tributaries. ठीक है, so tributaries, distributaries, drainage system, will these things will I will talk about. ठीक है. So hence these things are very much important and we'll cover these things from the section of the mapping. So in the mapping क्या क्या चीजें होंगी, let me clearly refine it for you and I'll share the PDF for the same. ठीक है. And believe me, in the last batch, in the last class, ठीक है ना, that I have taken of the PCS, so they were their maximum question have been there, you know, from the section of the mapping only. So mapping say they were the maximum questions. ठीक है, they were the maximum question from the mapping. Clear? So this is the geography through maps. So first let me describe you that how many things are there that you will study. So in the mapping we'll study about overall all the states. ठीक है, we'll study about the state boundary will study about let's say for example rivers. ठीक है ना, means complete drainage system. This is the rivers means what? Complete drainage system. Drainage system. So the drainage system will study about the rivers. ठीक है ना, rivers की tributaries, their distributaries. What is the difference between a tributary and distributary? Tributary is a stream which gives the water to the main river, and distributary is a stream which takes away the water from the main river. This is the difference between the tributary and the distributary. This is the difference between the tributary and the distributary. These things we'll discuss. ठीक है ना? We'll discuss about the overall the direction of the river. ठीक है ना? Where it is flowing north to south, east to west. So basically where it is flowing, we're going to study same things also. ठीक है ना? What type of river it is? It is a whether this is a perennial river or this is a seasonal river. Perennial means which will flow throughout the year. So whether it is flowing throughout the year or it is flowing only for some time. So these things will also study here also. Okay. Next thing we'll talk about. We'll discuss about the national park, biosphere reserve, tiger reserve. ठीक है, वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी. ठीक है, और elephant reserve, elephant reserves. These things will also discuss here. These things will also discuss here. We'll discuss the type of the forest at a particular state. In every state, what kind of forest is there, we'll study in the section of the mapping. Okay, now what kind of the forest is there? Forest is there. What kind of a soil is there? Topography. Then we'll study about in the mapping section. We'll study about the towns, important towns, important towns. ठीक है ना? On rivers bank. So on river bank, whatever the important towns are there, we'll study about that. ठीक है ना? Important towns on the river bank, we'll study about the same. Clear? Or important town you may say, or important ancient cities. है ना? Ancient cities that we have. ठीक है ना? That we have. We'll discuss about the corridors. So we'll discuss about the different corridors. Different corridors. So for example, what is the meaning of corridor? So for example, there's a national park, one national park and two national parks. So two national parks are there. Two national parks are connected by the corridor. So we'll study about that corridor. ठीक है ना? So we'll study about the different corridor. Next, we'll discuss about the wildlife species. Wildlife species means overall what kind of the wildlife is present at a particular place. ठीक है ना? Means we'll discuss here we'll discuss about the fauna. है ना? Fauna, or you may completely call it at the flora and fauna. Means plant and overall species. And we'll also have a look over their IUCN status. IUCN status. ठीक है? और क्या बचा? Then in addition to that, we'll talk about mountains. We'll talk about mountains. So overall, each and everything which is important from the perspective of the Indian geography. We'll cover this thing here, ठीक है ना? But especially from the point of view of the state. So we'll discuss about the geography of the India, but with respect to the state. But means the state by state will discuss. State by state will discuss. Okay. So these are the important things that we are going to discuss in the mapping part. If you have understood this thing, type yes. If you have understood this much, type yes, so that I may know. Okay, now you are getting my things properly. Okay. You may also take the screenshot if you want. Now, so moving forward, we'll start from the northern states of the India. So everybody, first of all, everybody know the map of India properly. Where is India located? Everybody knows it now properly. So this is the overall the map of the world. This is the map of the world, and here is your India. You're loving India. So this is the map of the India. ठीक है ना? Later on, slowly, I'll also let you know overall. Okay, let me handle it here only. This is the overall map. ठीक है ना? Now you need to also understand that how to use this Google Map judiciously, है ना? Or with the maximum weightage. So you may use the Google Map. For example, you may see in my map, Google Map, you may see if I zoom out, there's lot of these stars are there. Why these stars are there? So these stars are marking the important sites. Important site. For example, if I click on this star, so it is a Seychelles Islands. And now even I can add some information regarding the same. Okay, so the thing is, whenever you got any new point, that is you need to remember. For example, in India, if I zoom in here, so for example, this is the Chilka Lake. This is the Nalbana Bird Sanctuary. Nalbana Bird Sanctuary. और इसको मैंने क्या किया है? What I have done, I have pinpointed this with a star. Clear? And now I may also add some more information regarding the same. Some information is already given there, but I may also add some more information. For example, maybe this one. Here what I've added, Manas National Park. This is the Manas National Park I have added. In this way, you may give, ठीक है ना? Or for example, this is what I have written: vast wildlife sanctuary, home to the protected species such as the Bengal tigers, elephant, and the rhino. So this is which is written in here, in the left corner. Clear? This is what I have written. I have marked it out. So in this way, this is the actual way how to use the Google Maps properly. How to use the Google Maps properly. Is that clear? So in this way, try to use the Google Map and add locations. Add locations. Clear? Add location. और कैसे add करना? Let me find it for you. For example, you have given this direction. Now let's go in the save. Now in the save, you may also star mark it, or you may also add, for example, UPSC playlist में. ठीक है ना? Now here you will have one column of adding a note. Means if you want to add some information regarding this point of Pakistan, ठीक है ना? You may add a note here. ठीक है ना? In this way, you may also create or you may also delete your own story. Means own point, save points. Clear? Now, coming on the JNK, so JNK it is the northern state of the India. Northern state of the India. First, uh, let us talk about in the JNK. Okay, before starting JNK, let us talk about the Indus Valley system or Indus River. So let's talk about the Indus River system. Earlier, even though I have talked about, but we are not going to talk about it more. I will not going to talk about it more. Indus River system. Now, so this is the Indus River system. This is the Indus River system or the Indus River. Now, this Indus River, ठीक है ना? Overall, this is the Indus River, which is coming from the here. Okay, this is the Indus River, and it is going in the Pakistan. It is going in the Pakistan. Okay, na? It is going in the Pakistan. Now, overall, there was a water dispute between the India and Pakistan, है ना, regarding this Indus river system. So there was a disruption, or there was a dispute. Now this dispute has been conquered, or has been overall resolved by the World Bank in 1960. So in the World Bank in the 1960, they have concurred this agreement between the India and the Pakistan. And as a result of this, as a result of what happened, 20% of the water India will going to have, and 80% of the water will Pakistan going to have from the Indus. Clear? Next thing is that overall India can only make the run of the river project. Run of the river project means India cannot hold the water. Holding of water is not allowed in the case of India. So India cannot hold the water. And right now, if I want to speak about it, India even don't have has any mechanism, as you have seen recently, है ना, during that during this अभी Pahalgam attack, ठीक है ना? So what we have seen, the India was giving the kind of a धमकी, ठीक है ना, kind of a bully, है ना, he was intimidating the Pakistan that we are going to stop the Indus water, and then overall your country, है ना, your country will going to suffer a loss. But overall, the main problem is India right now don't has any mechanism, don't has any mechanism via which we can hold the water of the Indus. Clear? Now, next thing is, in the case of Pakistan, remember this CJI. CJI means Chenab, Jhelum, or Indus. These three rivers are fall under the category of the Pakistan. Chenab, Jhelum, or Indus. So this is the Chenab, and this is the Jhelum, and this is the Indus. These three rivers are the rivers of the Pakistan. Then what we are left with? We are left with Byas, Satluj, and Ravi. So Byas, Satluj, and Ravi, these are the Indian rivers. CGI जो कहाँ का है? CGI is of Pakistan. Clear? One question was there in the UPSC. One question was there in the UPSC. And what is this question? The question they have asked is, which is one river in which two rivers merge? Which is one river in which two rivers merge? So this is the Jhelum. So Jhelum is the river in which you may see here comes the Beas and here comes the Ravi. So they both merge in Jhelum. So this was the question. ठीक है ना? This was the question in the UPSC from the point of view of the Indus River. So this is the overall Indus River system. Indus River system. ठीक है? So Indus River system के बारे में पता होना चाहिए. Now, so when we talk about the JNK, now here this yellow part, is the Ramsar site. So whenever you see this yellow part, this is what? This is the Ramsar site. Just let me make it a copy of the same. Yeah, yeah. So this is overall the Ramsar site. Okay. Now, so this is the map of the JNK. This is the map of the JNK. Okay. First of all, here we have this river known as the Jhelum. So Jhelum is going there. Okay. And now we have this range known as the Pir Panjal, as we talked about in the Himalaya. ठीक है ना, Pir Panjal range, and this is the Jaskar range. ठीक है ना, here you have the Wooler Lake, ठीक है ना, it is the biggest freshwater lake. Wooler Lake is the biggest freshwater lake. Dal Lake is also the freshwater lake. So Dal Lake is there. This is the Dal Lake. And यहाँ पर in the north of it you have the Wooler Lake. Wooler Lake. So Dal Lake, Wooler Lake, which is the largest freshwater lake, and which is also a Ramsar site. So Wooler Lake is also a Ramsar site. So there was a convention, Ramsar Convention, that happened in 1971. Ramsar Convention happened in the 1971 in Iran. Ramsar Convention, 1971 in Iran. This happened. Okay, and from there, the beginning of this Ramsar site have overall been created. The Ramsar site. Clear? The beginning of the Ramsar site has been created. Clear? Now, so basically, this is overall. ठीक है, this is overall understanding. This is the Ramsar site here. ठीक है, this is the Ramsar site. which is the answer side, the Wooler Lake, which is the largest freshwater lake. It is the biggest freshwater lake, Wooler Lake. ठीक है ना? And then we have this Dal Lake. We have this Dal Lake. ठीक है ना? And here what we have is the Kishtawar Lake. Kishtawar Lake. Kishtawar Lake. Clear? And here you have one wildlife sanctuary, which is the Hokera Wildlife Sanctuary. Hokera Wildlife Sanctuary is also there in the uh, JNK. Remember the JNK? I've talked about the houseboat. Houseboat also we houseboat is also there in the JNK, है ना? Which we call it as the uh, Shakira kind of, है ना? For example, let me give it to you the understanding. Shikara, I think, ना? Shikara, Shikara boat. It is known as the Shikara. So Shikara is, है ना? So Shikara is the name of the houseboat that is there in the JNK. We call them as the Shikara. These are known as the houseboat. Houseboat. So it looked like a house. Okay? It looked like a house and it is called as the Shikara. And you say it is look like a house. Okay? You called it as the Shikara. Shikara houseboat. Clear? Shikara houseboat. And here you will find this musk deer. So musk deer is also find here. Musk deer you will find in the here. Here you have this Ladakh. So this is the JNK. This is the region of JNK, and here you have the region of Ladakh. This is the overall the boundary. Take Indus is flowing from here to here, and it is going here. Clear, everybody? Try to understand the map. Try to understand the map. Then only you'll have much clarity. Try to understand the map. Try to understand the map. So here you have the musk deer and the Chigam National Park. ठीक है ना? Musk deer, the Chigam National Park. ठीक है ना? And next, this is the Chenab River going there. Chenab, this is the overall path of the Chenab. ठीक है ना? And here you have the Vaishno Devi. Must have heard about this too. Religious place, Vaishno Devi. And here we have Surinsar Mansar Lake. ठीक है ना? It is known as the Twin Lake. ठीक है ना? It is also the wildlife sanctuary. Surinsar Mansar Lake और Surinsar Mansar Wildlife Sanctuary. ठीक है? Surinsar Mansar Lake और Surinsar Mansar Wildlife Sanctuary. So this is about the JNK. Let us revise it again. So we have what? We have this Dal Lake. That is Dal Lake. The Dal Lake. This Dal Lake is basically the freshwater lake, but the largest freshwater lake is the Wooler Lake. Largest freshwater lake is the Wooler Lake, and Dal Lake is also the freshwater lake. Take and between them we have what? We have the Kishtwar. Then we have the Krishna क्या है कृष्ण सार ठीक है ना लेक तो एक ये भी यहाँ पर लेक है हमारे पास जैसे द पीर पंजाल रेंज जास्कर रेंज ठीक है ना पीर पंजाल लेक जास्कर रेंज क्लियर and this is overall here we have this Dachigam National Park and here you will find the musk deer. Dachigam National Park musk deer is also found here. This is the overall the boundary of the Ladakh. So here you have the Ladakh. This is the JNK. This is JNK. Here you have the Ladakh Leh in the Siberian passing. This is the Dachigam National Park. One more thing is there that we have left is the city forest or Salim Ali National Park. ठीक है ना city forest or Salim Ali National Park. ठीक है. Here you will find a Hangul is a Kashmiri stag. Kashmiri stag is known as a Hangul. ठीक है ना. Here you are what finding? Here you are finding the musk deer. Musk deer है ना. Musk deer or Kashmiri stag or the Hangul city forest Salim Ali National Park. Salim Ali is he was a ornithologist. Means he was a kind of a bird watcher and a bird keeper. है ना? He was a kind of averist. ठीक है ना? Averist is that person who है ना? Averist is that person basically who loves the or who take care of the birds. ठीक है ना? उसको known as the averist. So he was an averist person. Clear? He was an averist person. ठीक है? Okay, so Salim Ali, and only in his name, है ना? There are many national parks, bird sanctuary in the Goa also that has been named after his name. So these things we have discussed, and then the last we have discussed Surinsar Mansar Lake, ठीक है ना? Twin Lake, Wildlife Sanctuary of the Western Devi. This is about the JNK. And हाँ, one more thing is that है ना? किस्तेश्वर वाइल्ड लाइफ, किस्तेश्वर नेशनल पार्क, ठीक है ना, इट इज द ट्रिब्यूटरी ऑफ द चिनाब, ठीक है ना, ट्रिब्यूटरी ऑफ द चिनाब, क्लियर होगी बात, किस्तेश्वर नेशनल पार्क, क्लियर। Now comes the Ladakh. So we have talked about this region till now. We have talked about this region, ठीक है, this region we have talked about, ठीक है। Now let us talk about this area, this area, clear। Now, so we are talking about the Ladakh. So we have what we have seen till now in the Ladakh. So in Ladakh we have the region of the lake, and this Indus River passes through the same lake. Okay, so now this is overall the Indus River. Can you see this Indus River? Indus River has its origin from the Mansarovar, Lake Mansarovar. You have maybe heard about Lake Mansarovar, which is considered a very sacred lake, or sorry, very sacred river, mm, very sacred lake in the Hindu mythology. In the Hindu mythology, clear. So basically, it has its origin from the Mansarovar. It has its origin from the Mansarovar. So from here, it will move up Indus River. This is the Indus River, and then it will meet at point Leh. So Leh lies next to the this Indus River, and you have this point Kargil where the Kargil wars happened. Kargil war happened, and it is at some distance. It is at some distance. ठीक है ना, Kargil. So it is at some distance. Clear? ठीक. This is about it. And then we have the Gilgit. Gilgit is an area. This is the Ladakh range. Ladakh range, and here from here, what we have this is the Shoyak River. Shoyak River. Shoyak River. ठीक है ना, Shoyak River. It is moving like this. Clear? And we have this valley, which is known as the Nubra Valley, which is known as the Nubra Valley. And here we have a very beautiful range is known as the Karakoram range. Karakoram. So this brown color thing is known as the Karakoram range. In addition to that, Siachen Glacier is also there. Siachen Glacier. Siachen Glacier is known as the highest battlefield of the world. Siachen Glacier is known as the highest battlefield of the world. तो दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा battlefield है कौन सा? Siachen Glacier. Siachen Glacier is the highest battlefield of the world. ठीक है? And then next to the Karakoram range, you have a Saksham Valley. Next to the Karakoram range, you have the Saksham Valley, which is in the Ladakh. ठीक है ना? And Remo Glacier is also there. Deepsang Plain is also there. So this is about the Ladakh, है ना? And this is about the Aksai Chin. What is the meaning of Aksai Chin? Basically, if you talk about the map of India, so basically, map of India. In the case of map of India, let's say draw it the map of India. I'm trying to draw the map of India in this way, है ना? बहुत अच्छा नहीं बना, okay, बहुत अच्छा नहीं बना, खराब ही हो गया, ठीक है। In this way, you may draw the map of India. इसे क्या करते हैं, बहुत ही खराब हो गया। चलो मैं दिखाता हूँ। So these are the two locations that you need to understand, that where are these locations and what is the important, what is their importance. So overall, this is the map of India. But right now, this map of India is very much divided. Why? This area that is from here to here to here, this is the JNK. So right now, this area is the only area which lies in the section of the JNK. Clear? JNK. This area. ठीक? And now this area from here to here, this comes the. Let me draw it for you. So this area overall, if I draw a line here, so this area will come under the JNK, and this area here it will come under the Ladakh. ठीक? Now this is known as the POK. POK, that is the Pak occupied Kashmir. So Kashmir has taken this area, ठीक है ना, during the war, ठीक है ना, and this line that is dividing or that is demarcating the territory between the India and the Pakistan is known as the line of control. Line of control, ठीक है ना. So every time a person will be there in the near to line of control to overall have the situation, give situation कैसी है. This is known as line of control. Now Here in the right, this was in the left side. Here in the right side, China also taken some part, and China claims as the Aksai Chin. Although it is the part of India, but right now the China is claiming it's the Aksai Chin. ठीक है ना? And here we have also one line which is known as the LAC. So this is here. Here it is LOC. Here it is LOC, but now it has become the LAC. So this is LOC. LOC is the line of control. Okay? And here is the LAC. That is the line of actual control. Line of actual control. Okay? So this line of actual control is here. Okay? In the case of the China. One more thing. This area that you may see here right now. This area has been ceded. Okay? Has been ceded or has been given to whom? This area has been ceded or has been given to China by Pakistan in 1963, which was a part of India. So that's why India has agreed that how come a part which is even not the part of the Pakistan can be given to somebody else. That is the to China. Okay. So this is the overall mapping of the JNK. Now, if you have any problem in JNK, you may ask. Anything that you've not got from here. Okay. Now, so this is about the JNK, and now we are moving to the region of Ladakh. Ladakh में भी कई सारी चीजें बात कर चुके हैं, ठीक है ना? And Ladakh में what I talked about. One lake I talked about, this Pongongso Lake. Earlier I have also talked about this Pongongso Lake. Now this Pongongso Lake, which is a saltwater lake, salty lake, the two-third of this Pongongso Lake, two-third of the Pongongso Lake lies in the China, and only one-third of the lake lies in India. Two-third is in China, one-third is only in the India. Okay? One-third is there in the India. Now, moving forward, so here we have what we have seen. Okay, now one more lake. Hemis National Park. This is very, very important. Very, very, very important. Whenever you talk about the Ladakh, comes the Hemis National Park, you know, very famous for the snow leopards. Snow leopards. Snow leopards, they live in the higher, cold climate. So here we have the Hemis National Park, which is very much famous for the snow leopard. Sokar, it is a Ramsar site, an important bird area. Sokar, it is a Ramsar site, an important bird area. That is IBA. Okay. And next, Somorori Lake, it is also the Ramsar site. In the Somorori Lake, which is here, you will have the black-necked crane, and the Tibetan shepherd. Okay. So black-necked crane, it is also known, it is the state bird. And Tibetan sheep, it is an endemic. I told you about the IUCN status. Now during the mapping, we will study about the IUCN status of the various flora and fauna. So various flora and fauna ka we are going to study that IUCN status. Okay? Now, so let us revise it again. We'll revise it once again. What is there? So first we have discussed overall the Ladakh. So Ladakh mein what is going? This is the Indus River which is going from here to here. This is the overall movement of the direction of the Indus River. Clear? Now, some lake. Let us talk about. So this is, as we just discussed, the Pangongso Lake. 2/3 water is in the India and 1/3 is in the Pakistan. Take. Next we talked about the Hemis National Park. Hemis National Park, which is associated with the snow leopard. Sokar, it is a Ramsar site. Somoriri, it is also the salt lake. Take the Ramsar site. Black-necked crane, it is found here. Take it is the state bird. And Tibetan sheep, take it is endemic, which is found here. Clear? Okay. Now, Mansarovar, as I told you, Mansarovar is the place from where the origin of the Indus takes place. Here on the Indus only, you will find this Leh city. And then you will also find this Kargil city. Here you have the Karakoram range. This is the Nubra valley. And here in the upper side of the Karakoram range, you have the Siachen glacier. Siachen Glacier, this is the Deepsang Pass, or Remu Glacier. These are some of the things. Sakshkam Valley, very important here. Sakshkam Valley, very important here. ठीक है ना? This is it. So this is about the Ladakh. Now, just tell me, type yes if you are enjoying these lectures of especially the mapping today. Now, today we have started the mapping, and now we'll cover the geography through mapping. Type yes if you are enjoying it. Okay? Now, moving second. Next is state is the Himachal Pradesh. So everyone is having the map, and everyone should have the maps with them. Next comes the Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh. Now in the Himachal Pradesh. So first the same the rivers. So Chenab is moving like this in the western margin. ठीक है ना? And then comes the Ravi. I think Ravi is going here only. ठीक है. So in the Ravi, so here you have, okay, let us see the rivers first. So Chenab is there, Ravi is there, Byas is coming, Byas is there also, and then Satluj is there also. It is also moving here in this direction. Okay. So this is overall. These are the overall river that are there in the Himachal Pradesh. In the Himachal Pradesh. Okay. Next is some passes or some important ranges we'll talk about. First is the Bara, Pangal, or Rohtak Pass. Rohtak Pass is something very important. Rohtak Pass. Rohtak Pass. Okay. And next is the Kunzam range. ठीक है, रोहतक पास एंड कुंजम रेंज, ठीक है ना, एंड 12 लाचा पास, 12 लाचा पास, ठीक है ना, 12 लाचा पास, ये clear. So these are the some of the passes, some of the ranges. Next, what we have the cold desert biosphere reserve. So it is a biosphere reserve. Now, whenever you talk about the national park, we will talk about national park, tiger reserves, ठीक है ना. So whenever we talk about the national parks, biosphere reserves, tiger reserves, ठीक है ना, elephant reserves. So maybe in that condition, the largest one is the biosphere reserve. Biosphere reserve. So in a biosphere reserve, there could be a number of things. National parks could be there, wildlife sanctuary could be there, ठीक, and then national park, wildlife sanctuary, and overall tiger reserve, elephant reserves, ठीक है, and number of things can also be there in the biosphere reserve. Biosphere reserve is a very broad term, ठीक है ना, very broad term. In it, you may have in a biosphere, in one biosphere you have multiple national parks. In one biosphere reserves, you may have multiple national parks. Okay, in this way you need to understand it. Clear? Now, so this is what we have discussed, overall the valleys. Now comes on the important section of the Himachal Pradesh. Okay, Himachal Pradesh. You may also see na, in the next to the Himachal Pradesh, what do you have? JNK. Okay, na, here you have the Uttarakhand. Clear? So this is it. Now, talking about some of the some more Ramsar sites. So first Ramsar site is the Chandratal Lake. Chandratal, ठीक है ना, Chandratal Lake Ramsar site. Chandratal Lake Ramsar site. ठीक है. Next is here you have what? You have this. Okay, let me think. Chandratal Lake Ramsar site. ठीक है ना. And then here we have this Renuka Lake. Renuka Lake, which is a wildlife sanctuary, is also a Ramsar site. Renuka Lake Ramsar site. Renuka Lake Ramsar site. ठीक है. And then what we have is the Govind Sagar Dam. Govind Sagar Dam, or is the next is the Govind Sagar Dam and Majatal Wildlife Sanctuary. ठीक. Next we have one more Ramsar site is the Pong Lake Wildlife Sanctuary. है ना, Ramsar site. Pong Lake Ramsar site or Wildlife Sanctuary. Clear? And then what we have is the Indrakila National Park. ठीक है, Indrakila National Park is the Himalayan ibex. ठीक. Pangong Lake, which is a Ramsar site also. So now what we are left with? We are left with the national park. So covered it also. First comes the cold desert biosphere reserve. cold desert biosphere reserve. Kibber Wildlife Sanctuary. So Kibber Wildlife Sanctuary is also there. So in the biosphere, now this is the overall biosphere reserve. See this thing? This is the overall biosphere reserve. This area is the overall biosphere reserve. Take in this biosphere reserve there could be wildlife sanctuary. So the Kibber Wildlife Sanctuary is this. ठीक है ना? And Pin Valley National Park. Pin Valley National Park. So basically, Pin Valley National Park is here only. Na Khir Ganga National Park, na, which is here, and Great Himalayan National Park. Great Himalayan National Park, which is here. ठीक है? World Heritage. Great Himalayan National Park. Great Himalayan National Park. Clear? And here you have this Spiti Valley in the Ladakh region. Hmm. Okay, so this is what I've done with the Himachal. Now, here, if you have any confusion, you may ask. Let me revise it also. So in the Himachal, what we have seen? First, we have seen that in the Himachal, we have seen how many rivers are going. So the Satluj is going, Vyas is going, and then Ravi is also going. Take now. Later on, what we have talked about the biosphere reserve. Cold is a biosphere reserve. So I have also given the definition of the biosphere reserve. So the biosphere reserve means any big quantity, any big measurement in which the rest of the measurement or rest of the things will be incorporated. ठीक है, and that is known as the biosphere reserve. ठीक है, जिससे आपको काम चाहिए. So this is the cold desert biosphere reserve. Cold desert biosphere reserve. ठीक है ना? And then Chandratal Ramsar site. Cold desert biosphere reserve Chandratal Ramsar site. Kibber Wildlife Sanctuary, Pin Valley National Park. Okay, Khirganga National Park और हिमालय ग्रेट हिमालय नेशनल पार्क. ठीक है, ये सारी चीजें यहाँ मिल जाएंगी आपको. नेक्स्ट यू विल आल्सो फाइंड सम मोर थिंग्स. फॉर एग्जांपल रेणुका लेक विच इज आल्सो द रामसर साइट. ठीक है, एंड देन मजातला मजातल वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी इज आल्सो देयर. ठीक, नेक्स्ट इज द पोंग लेक वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी. पोंग लेक वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी और रामसर साइट इज आल्सो देयर. ठीक, इंद्रकिला नेशनल पार्क विच इज नोन एज द है ना कुल्लू और हिमालयन इम्बेक्स. ठीक है, यहाँ पे मिलेगा आपको हिमालयन इम्बेक्स. ठीक है, yeah, this much information है ना. ये one thing is left. Symbol बना नेशनल पार्क. बना नेशनल पार्क. ठीक है. Now if you have any problem here you may ask right now. Any problem that or anything that you are not getting. Any problem that you are not getting. Type yes if everything is okay and you are getting the concepts. Okay, you're not replying. No problem. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Next stage. Okay, next comes the Punjab. Now, why the Punjab? And what is the story behind the Punjab? So, Punjab is the state, or it is the place where the five river mixes together. A kind of a place where five river will mix together is known as the Punjab. ठीक है ना, पांच एरिया से जो बना हुआ है, पांच रिवर से जो बना हुआ है, द्वाब इज अ पंजाब. Clear? So first, let us see the kind of the river that are going there. So first is the Satluj. So Satluj, ठीक है ना, Satluj is coming from here. ठीक है, रोहतांग से पास नहीं अगर आ रही है. Satluj is going away. And next comes the next to the Satluj, you have this river. ठीक है, this river, which is this river. Uh, overall, Bhakra Nagar number dam is also prepared on the same river. Now, name is not mentioned. Next, Chenab. Chenab में we have this Jhelum और लाहौर. ठीक है, ये पूरा पाकिस्तान का रीजन आ गया ना, ये पूरा पाकिस्तान का, इसलिए यहाँ पे पाकिस्तान के लाहौर को शहरों का मेंशन किया हुआ है. ठीक है ना, हम पढ़ रहे हैं किसका, पंजाब के बारे में. नाउ next we'll talk about some important Ramsar sites of the Punjab. First is which is very important is the Ropar. Ropar. ठीक है, Ropar. It is a man-made site. Man-made Ramsar site. ठीक है, Ropar. Next is the Byas Conservation Reserve. Byas Conservation Reserve क्या है? ठीक है ना. So Byas Conservation Reserve here we are conserving the dolphins and we are also conserving the ग्लेशियल reintroduction. ठीक है ना? So Indus River dolphin, and Indus River dolphin has been given from the best of my memory in 2010 has given the overall the status of national aquatic animal. ठीक है? So roper is the man-made one, and next is the Nalgal Wildlife Sanctuary. Nalgal Wildlife Sanctuary, it is also a Ramsar site. It is also a Ramsar site. ठीक है ना? And next is the Kanjli Wildlife Sanctuary. ठीक है ना? Kanjli Wildlife Sanctuary. Here you have Harike Wildlife Sanctuary. Harike Wildlife Sanctuary you have here. Kishorpur Miani, है ना? It is a community reserve. Very, very, very important. Can be asked in the examination also. Kesarpur Miani Community Reserve. Kesarpur Miani Community Reserve. Kesarpur Miani Community Reserve. ठीक है ना? Now, this is the Pir Panjal Lake. This is the, है ना? This is the Shivalik Range. Shivalik Range. ठीक है? Okay. Now, and one more pass is there in that here. Here you have the Govind Sagar Lake that I told you. Okay, and here you have also the Shipkila Pass. Shipkila Pass. What is the meaning of Shipkila? La का मतलब क्या होता है? La का मतलब होता है pass. La means PWS pass. Simply, the meaning of la is pass. Shipkila means Shipkila is that area kind of. उसको Shipkila बोलते हैं, Shipkila Pass. Or maybe the name can be there. ना कोई ऐसा कोई proper वो नहीं है कि ऐसे नाम रखना है उसको, ऐसा नाम रखना है. ठीक है ना? Punjab. One wildlife sanctuary left is the Abhor Wildlife Sanctuary. Abhor Wildlife Sanctuary. ठीक? So it is a sanctuary which is basically very much worshipped, or it has important for the Bishnoi community or black buck protection. So once what I have done, basically the Salman Khan, he killed one of the black buck. So actually the overall status of the black buck, if I even search today, the status of the black buck is most probably near threatened. Okay, let me correct it. You're not finding here. Okay, so black buck is least concern. Black buck is least concern. Means there's no worry for the black buck. Yes, ऐसा होना चाहिए, वैसा होना चाहिए. There's no worry for the black buck. Clear? So black buck is least concern. But even though the moment Salman Khan kills this black buck, okay, so there was a very lot more issue. And why these issues were there? So the issue was there because overall this black buck is very much sacred. This black buck is very much sacred for the Bishnoi communities. And I've seen that overall this Bishnoi gang one, the Gunda. Okay, so you have seen that who was giving the intimation, he was giving threatening calls to the public, to the especially the celebrity who has the very voluminous amount of the money. The Bishnoi community is a community which worship, or they give some religious overall understanding for the black buck, and hence also the Salman Khan was under trial at that time. Okay, clear? Anything else from the section of Punjab? Any other thing? Now let us revise the Punjab, है ना? आज के लिए इतने करेंगे हम लोग. पंजाब का स्टेट को पढ़ लेते हैं. दिस इज ऑल स्टार्टेड द मैपिंग. आपसे मैपिंग समझ में भी आ रही होगी. इसी तरह से हमारी सारी स्टेट्स की मैपिंग चलेंगी, एंड विल कवर ईच एंड एवरीथिंग, स्पीशीज, फ्लोरा, फौना, है ना, माउंटेन्स, हिल्स, पासेस, each and everything will cover. So first is your overall the river, that is the Satluj river, and here you have the Chenab river. ठीक है ना? And next we'll talk about the Ramsar site of the uh, Punjab. So we have the Roper Lake, which is a man-made lake. Next, Beas Conservation Reserve, Beas Conservation Reserve. ठीक. And next is overall the Nalban Wildlife Sanctuary, which is also Ramsar site. Keshavpur Mayani Reserve, which is also Ramsar site. ठीक है ना? And next is the Kanjli wetland, which is also the part of the Punjab. Very important. Kanjli wetland, very important. Harry के Wildlife Sanctuary. ठीक है ना? Because we are talking in the Punjab, so it is a mixture or it is a land of the five rivers. It is a land of the five rivers. ठीक है? This is the Shivalik Range Wildlife Sanctuary. ठीक है ना? And this is the Bhakra Dam. You maybe heard about the Bhakra Nangal Dam. This is the Bhakra Dam only. So Bhakra, and here you have the Nangal. So basically there are two dams. One thing is the Bhakra Dam and second is the Nangal Dam. Together we pronounce it as the Bhakra Nangal Dam. So Bhakra Nangal Dam on the Satluj River. On the Satluj River. Remember this thing, Bhakra is a separate dam and Nangal is a separate dam. But we tend to pronounce it as the same, Bhakra Nangal. Clear everybody? And this here you have, in the middle of that, you have a, what kind of a sagar or lake also. And which is this lake? Gobind Sagar Lake. Remember? Bhakra Nangal and Gobind Sagar Lake. This is the Shipkila Pass. ठीक है ना? Shipkila Pass. Ulu is obviously there in Himachal. ठीक है ना? And right now we are talking about the Punjab. ठीक है ना? And then Kajli wetland is done already. ठीक है ना? Beas Conservation Reserve. So Beas Conservation Reserve is also there. Now till now, if you have any confusion, you may ask any problem, anything that you have not got properly. This Abur Wildlife Sanctuary, which is very much important for the wildlife sanctuary. So here you will find the black bug. Abur Wildlife Sanctuary, you will find the black bug. But this black bug is very much protected or considered as a sacred for Vishnoi communities. And so जो सलमान खान का जो इशू था. चलिए आज के लिए इतना करते हैं. कल हम हरियाणा से स्टार्ट करेंगे बात. अभी आपको कोई डाउट है तो यू मे आस्क. इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट यू मे आस्क. एनी डाउट यू हैव, टेल मी. Have you enjoyed this series of mapping? With overall, I'm asking, are you enjoying it? Actually, time जो होता है ना, I'm very much tired because throughout the day I was working, and next in the evening I have also taken the class. This is the last class of my day. That's why I'm extremely sorry for the same. Any doubt or anything else? Okay, so I believe everything is okay. Then I'll meet you tomorrow in the same time or same place. And what's time has been increased a little bit not today, but most probably from tomorrow it will be 7:30 only. ठीक है? मिलते हैं तब तक. टेक केयर. Goodbye. Thank you. This is Mohit Tiwari signing off. जय हिंद, जय भारत.